I make a lot of videos about what not to buy, clothing to avoid. But on the flip side, these are some clothing pieces that I never regret purchasing for my transitional wardrobe. I want to show you today the pieces and, more importantly, the specific details that can make clothing so damn versatile in my wardrobe. It's nice to talk about the good things sometimes and appreciate the clothing pieces have worked very hard in my wardrobe, sometimes for years. I don't want someone to watch today's video and think to themselves, just because these are high quality pieces, you can buy it in your wardrobe and they'll be exactly as versatile as they have been for me. That's actually not the point. The point is, by understanding why certain things work for me, you can apply this to your style, to your lifestyle. The best wardrobes are about the right details, curation that happens over time. So let me share with you the pieces that I never regret and have worked for me. Something I never regret for my transitional wardrobe are stripes. It's a weird one to start with, but one of my style words is playful. Sometimes in my everyday outfits, I don't really express that well enough. So with stripes, it makes it so easy for me to throw together an outfit and it feels aligned to my style, the playful part of my style. The detail that I'm looking for in my stripes is that I like them when they lean a little bit more playful rather than classic, because classic is not one of my style words, but playful is. So when they're a little bit more fun in the color combination, a little bit more vibrant, they tend to feel better suited to me. I'm going to talk about the specific pieces, but if I forget something, everything will be linked down below. This one is new to me, so this is from Balzac Paris. I like the colors on this skirt, and even paired with like a white top, I feel super playful, feminine in the outfit. This top I'm wearing from End of a Stories is similar, except this one actually features two of my style words. It's feminine, it's playful. I love that I have all of that just in one piece. So when I pair it with a white skirt or a black skirt or something simple, my outfit is pretty much there. And then of course, with these slightly more classic looking stripes, they've got little details that make them feel a bit more playful. This one's a bit more playful because of the shape, boxier. You'll also notice here that the stripes that I reach for tend to be small to medium. We never go into those very large, dramatic stripes because that doesn't really suit me. And those are details I pay so much attention to. Something I never regret is a beautiful blazer for my wardrobe. But you know what the thing is? My lifestyle these days is just not right for a blazer. It's far too casual. When I worked in the office, it was blazer every day. Now it's blazer sometimes. So what am I looking for then? I'm looking for a blazer that is casual. It sounds like a oxymoron, like what would be the point then? But I love blazers, I love their elegance. I just want to make it work for me so that it doesn't look off when I wear it to my more casual things in my life. So firstly, the material is fluid. When we compare this to a structured blazer, you will immediately see how much more casual this feels, how much more relaxed this feels than the structure and the more angular silhouettes. The fabric transforms everything. And then even in the details, because this one has that rounded neckline, it just looks a little bit softer. It's a bit softer through the shoulder as well, so we don't have any of that padded shoulder effect where it looks very, sharp and sleek, but not casual. And these details just makes this blazer appropriate for me right now. This one really made me fall back in love with blazers after a bit of a hiatus. This can be the opposite for you, where this is just like maybe too casual. You can go a bit more structured for something just sharper, and that's what we're deciding between when we're looking for a good blazer. This, by the way, is a worsted fabric. So think traditional suiting. It's a fine, tight weave that's very strong. And then if you go the woolen route, those tend to look a bit cozier, a little bit more casual as well. So that could be a decision factor for you. I prefer this worsted fabric because I think that it doesn't look as bulky. It tends to be a little bit more draped and flattering on my body shape. I never regret pants like this. I have no shortage of these like wide leg pants, but what differentiates something I wear all the time and something I wear sometimes is the ease. For this pair, the silhouette is really easy to work with. You can see it's not too much fabric. It's got an elasticated waist and a sportier material. This just means that when I am working from home, they are so comfortable. It's like a PJ pants. But when I go out, they still look very smart and polished. When it can take me from working at my desk to go out in, those are the pieces that I get extra wear from. I am asking myself, do I prioritize ease or style at the moment. Right now it's more ease, so these work so well for me. If I was working in an office, working, with lots of other people, I would actually go a little bit more formal. I might prefer a style like this where it's just so elegant, but this one gives me pretty good style and a lot more comfort. I do so much self-sabotaging when it comes to knitwear for my wardrobe. I am always buying knitwear that is just a little bit too warm for my climate. And it comes down to two main things. One is that I love the texture of something like mohair, alpaca, but these tend to be so much warmer than your typical wool. The other thing is that I love chunkier, thicker knitwear because it feels more cozy, and then I start picturing all these cozy moments in my life in these knitwear pieces, and the fantasy starts. So when I look at my most worn knit pieces, it really explains what I actually need as opposed to what I want to buy and what I want to dream of wearing. Something that has stayed so relevant in my wardrobe for so long is the Cezanne Sammy nail set. And I'm not gonna lie, it does not look that special just staring at it as it is. It looks extremely boring. But there's something about this on my body where it's not too oversized, it's not too tight, it's that perfect mid-weight that makes it so practical. It's 50% cotton, 50% merino, and that fabrication is so practical for so much of the autumn winter. At least in my climate. For other climates, that may not hold true. And then the fact that these work extremely well both together and separately, I think is that cherry on top for me. So I thought I would show you this knit. This is a cotton knit from Cezanne. More and more, I'm trying to embrace both cotton knitwear as well as cotton wool blends because these are just such perfect fabrics for where I live. This one I love mostly for the style. I think it's so feminine, it's so girly, and it's a one and done piece. Pair this with anything and my outfit is complete. Another detail in knitwear that I just don't buy anymore are very long, oversized knits. Because what happens is that they start off looking oversized, they end up getting a little larger, they stretch out a little bit over time when you wash it and wear it. So I'm always looking for the right details that will help a knit keep its shape. It's a simple thing I look for, and it's just a nice defined neckline, cuffs, and then a little bit of that ribbing at the bottom. I know from knitting that these are things I really like in knitwear. And then once I started knitting, I started noticing that when knitwear doesn't have these details, it has a tendency to stretch out a little bit more easily. So sleeves, they tend to get longer. The body tends to just grow a little bit. And these details help keep the shape of the sweater a bit better. Something I will never regret is a very good dress that saves me when I don't know what to wear. A good dress for me simplifies my wardrobe in that when in doubt, just go simple, put on the dress, and be out the door. I tend to like dresses that have enough wow factor that I can dress them up for a nicer event or when I just want to look my best, but I can also dress them down for the weekend and for every day. So here are the dresses in my collection that I'm just the most happy with. My Doan dresses, I've got this in black, I've got this in white. This is the Leanne style. These are just easy. Throw them on, a necklace, some accessories, I'm out. The amount of times I've worn this in black and in white has made this dress feel worth it to me in my wardrobe. I'm not gonna lie, Doan dresses are growing in price. When I started buying them, they were not this expensive. So I need to be able to see that cost per wear come down so much to justify one of their dresses. And this one in black, this one in white has actually gotten enough cost per wear that I can say, fair enough. Doan is a brand that I do recommend. I think their pieces are stunning, but I'm gonna be honest, this is not a dress that you cannot find anywhere else. I was passing by Uniqlo and they do something that's extremely similar, extremely similar in silhouette. I also see variations of this dress, maybe End of a Stories. I think I've seen one at Cotton On. So there are lots of options for a cotton black or white dress. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for a very feminine girly dress. I want something sleeker, whether that's for evening, whether I'm heading out somewhere where it's not as girly daytime vibes. I really like one of these dresses that's a little bit slinkier, flowier, closer to the body. This is a Realization pod dress. It's in this beautiful dark green with black accents. This one I can and have worn for daytime, but also I think ideally would work incredible for evening as well. What I was saying before, wears well alone, wears well layered, so it ticks both of my boxes there, and it works for day and night. Something I was extremely excited to find recently is this trench coat. Okay, this trench coat is not everyone's taste. It's a little bit extremely oversized, and I don't know, like the arms could be like a little like a Michelin Man, I don't know. However, I love this because it's so light, it's so portable, it functions the way I want a trench coat to function. It's nice and long, it's a good color, it's right for my climate. Remember, Sydney, it's not that cold. And the moment it gets thick, it's just no longer practical. It was on Louisa V Aroma from Isabelle Marant Etoile, but it was on sale, so sadly I don't know if they still have it, but I also went to the tailor to shorten it, and it's the perfect piece now. Let me tell you another story about how a thicker trench coat used to be my ideal coat. I'll show up at work at 8 AM, it was cold outside, so I was wearing my trench coat. Left my trench coat at the office, and then 5, 6, 7 PM, if I was leaving work, trench coat back on because it was cold again outside. So then those thicker coats actually work fine, whereas now I'm like running to the station all the time, running here and there, walking everywhere. I'm often like taking my coat off, putting it back on, holding my coat, wearing my coat. So now I just want something lighter, as it suits me more. So lifestyle is everything. I've also learned that those thicker trench coats, they can't have very bulky details, otherwise the thick material with the bulky details end up looking very unflattering on me. This coat in a bulkier fabric would be a disaster. This coat, even though it's voluminous in a lighter fabric, is okay, at least to me. These are the things that I am thinking about when choosing a trench. Let's just say the weather was unpredictable, I don't need it anymore. It also folds down to a reasonable size for it to go into my tote bag that I carry in my small bag every day. So it just works. I have one pair of jeans that made me stop looking for the perfect jean because I really found it in this pair. This is the Everlane Way High. Purchased this maybe 2 years ago. It's just kind of your classic jean that does it all. There's nothing this won't look good with. It's extremely like classic straight-legged, but it's not too wide. It's still quite a slim, elongating shape. And then when I wear it with boots, it just feels so elongating. I would say this is my perfect jean. I don't really need to look for another classic straight jean. I never regret things that end the search. If I buy jeans these days, it's purely because I need it for a review, I need it for like a roundup, I want to test something, I want to compare things, but it's my curiosity. If I didn't do reviews, these are the jeans that I could wear for forever. On my body shape, I'm always looking for something that is going to fit me comfortably on the hip, but is not going to gape too much at the waist. And this is the jean that I think does that really well, where it fits really well if you have that larger difference between your waist and hip measurement. I have other jeans I really love, for example, my jeans from Rollers or my Everlane Gardener jean, but these are more key pieces in my wardrobe instead of classic pieces I can wear with everything. Something I included in previous capsules, previous edits, is my skort from Reformation. This is a piece I bought a while back and I wanted to reintroduce a shorter silhouette into my wardrobe. I was thinking this is a key piece. I wear it sometimes when I'm in the mood for it, but this is truly a staple now. I wear this multiple times a week. It's just easy. I love that it's very mini. Looks like a skirt from front and back, but it's actually a skort. I also find with anything mini, I don't want it to be flouncy. Like, I don't want the wind to blow and have any movement here. I want the material to be thick enough and close enough to my body that nothing moves. And this is that thicker material that does that. I don't really see myself wearing anything mini and thin, because that amount of movement is not something I want to deal with. Whereas thicker, structured, closer to the body, just holds its shape really well. A staple of mine all year round is white as opposed to black. So I find that I don't wear that much black. Time to time I'll be in like all black, sometimes I'll wear a black piece, but white is my black. A white skirt is a non-negotiable for me. And they can be lighter cotton, lighter looking skirts, or they can be thicker, more structured, more tailored to the body as well. So this one is a denim skirt and it's got these silver buttons down the front. This one is a slightly thicker material, so it's nice for the transitional season, and it has a nice straight shape as well. So if I'm wearing something more voluminous on top, this skirt feels quite balancing with those items. And then if I am wearing something closer, of course it works as well. The details I look for in a skirt is volume. In the past, I was really drawn to skirts like this one from Douyin. A lot of volume right at the bottom. And over time, I find myself learning that those skirts as a petite can sometimes be a bit harder to wear. You know, I walk a lot, I'm in a flat shoe. Sometimes I like to wear a knit on top. Those skirts can just make the outfit too voluminous. Whereas when a skirt is a little less voluminous, straighter, or just more streamlined, it tends to work with most of my shoes, most of my knitwear a lot better. Flat shoes, cozy knitwear are kind of constant in my style. So then the skirt is that puzzle piece where if it's more tapered, it ends up creating so many more outfits with the pieces I wear and own. And like a little A-line in a softer fabric is fine, but it's more those full circle, half circle skirts in poplin that I find harder to wear. I would say figure out for yourself, what are your non-negotiables in an outfit? Are you always in knitwear? Are you always in flat shoes? Are you always in white trousers? Whatever. And then I like to work backwards to decide what are the pieces that will help round this out and give me endless combinations. We have covered so much in today's video, but I haven't talked about tops very much. So my essential t-shirt is a pointel t-shirt. I have about 3 of these in my wardrobe. These are things I wear almost every day. I wear them at home, I wear them to go out in, I use them to layer, I wear them like an everyday uniform, like a white t-shirt. I like Cuckoo Intimate, I like rollers for these t-shirts. And you can also just sometimes find them at places like Brandy Melville, Cotton On, Glassons. Usually, they're all pretty nice in quality. I can honestly say that for the last 10 years, something that hasn't changed is a white blouse. What I'm looking for here is something not too voluminous. I don't want too much drama, but I also love small details. This is the style that I've been gravitating towards a lot, because I love all the intricate details. It has big sleeves, but they're not so big that I find them cumbersome or too much. A shirt is not a classic for me, but the one that I've reached for more often recently is this Sazan crop shirt, because it's got small details. Small collar, crop shape. The pocket is like not too large. There's just no drama in this shirt. This is why I don't want that drama. That drama looks good on someone tall with a larger frame. It's actually quite cool. On me, it's like twice as big as it's intended. So it just starts to look a bit silly. And I feel like I'm wearing something that is not doing me any favors. Whereas this one, is just a classic. It's easy to wear, easy to style. I feel like the details actually accentuate me. There is something so satisfying when you find a piece of clothing that is not fighting against your shape, but working for you. I talk a lot about what I don't buy, what to avoid. These are the pieces that I never regret and pieces that I always love in my wardrobe. Let me know what you look for in your staples. Doesn't have to be what I look for, but I hope this gave you something to think about. Everything will be linked down below if something caught your eye. I've recently updated my Shop My. Everything in my wardrobe is basically linked there. Everything that's still available. So if you'd like to look around, it'll be down below. I hope you have an incredible week ahead. I'll see you soon. Bye.